The 2026 Senators offseason has been highlighted by numerous trades. The Senators did not sign anyone on the free agent market, but one player they were able to extend might need to be one of the most impactful players for Travis Green's roster, even though he is nearing 39 years old. Hello everyone, I am Eoghan Drumm, and welcome to Senators Digest, where we talk all things Ottawa Senators. Today we will be talking about that player that the Senators extended this offseason, who is nearing 39 years old, the impact he needs to have for the Senators to have success, and where he ranks all time in a very specific Ottawa Senators ranking. We'll get into that very shortly, but before we do, please go down and hit that subscribe button. It is 100% free, and we notice around 90% of our viewers are not subscribed, and we are continuing to try and build our audience all the time. So if you are an Ottawa Senators fan, or even just a fan of the league and want to stay in touch with all things Ottawa Senators, this is the place for you. So please go down and hit that subscribe button. Alright, I'll reveal this player that I'm describing, 39 years old. They extended him this season, and a guy who does need to have a big impact this year for the Senators to still have success, and that player is Claude Giroux. He is going to be on another one-year deal. He was on a one-year deal last year, so this is his third contract with the Senators. Started with the team on a 3-year contract, and you know, he is vital for the success of this team with his leadership and on-ice performance. Starting with his leadership, he is one of the best leaders in the whole league. He's very intense. He expects a lot out of everyone on the entire roster, and he is a very loud voice for everyone in that locker room. And on ice, he's been performing at a high level for the past 4 years since being with the Senators, and he needs to continue that for the Senators to have overall success and take that next step if they want to move forward into further playoff rounds in the future. So let's just take a look at the production Giroux has had since being with the Senators. So last season, he had 49 points, 14 goals, and 35 assists. Very solid for a player who was 37 and turned 38 in the middle of the season. And you wouldn't really expect anything more from a player at that age. Especially he's a guy who bounced kind of from the top 6 to the third line a little bit. So he was kind of all over the place in terms of the lineup. Didn't have the most chemistry with a lot of the guys he was playing with. So he does need to get in a role that is more solidified, so he can build chemistry with players and gain more offensive chemistry and get more offensive stats. But for 38 years old, that is very impressive. He also is on the second power play unit, so he does get a lot of opportunities to get on the score sheet. Let's just take a look at his overall career statistics. I want to focus specifically on his years with the Senators. That would be from 22-23 to 25-26. First season, he had 79 points, 35 goals, 44 assists. He started on fire out of the gate with the Senators. Obviously, it declined the past few years. With age, of course, it's hard to keep up that production at high 30s. But one area in the stat sheet that I'm very impressed with, look at the games played from 2022-23 to 25-26. 82 games played, 82 games played, 81, 82. He has missed one regular season game since being with the Ottawa Senators. And that is someone who's in his late 30s. He is an absolute warrior. He is a true gamer. He wants to be out there. He wants to win. He wants to help the team. And I don't see that being any different this year. He could have left the Senators. He was a free agent, and there was talks of him returning to Philly or him going to Toronto even. But he believed in the Senators' plan, and he thought they still have a chance to win Lord Stanley Cup, something he has been chasing his entire career. Did make a final in 2010 when he was a little younger, but he has not made a cup final since. So he must believe the Senators are a true contender for that. And, I think he's right. I think the Senators are a true contender, but I think he still needs to be a vital piece of this team, needs to be a key contributor, because as of now, he is listed on their top 6. And, when you're listed in the top 6, he needs to kind of get to the stats that he had last year. The 49 points, I think, would be great for the Senators offense. If he's able to put up more, that would be even better, because that would help the team out a lot. They have trouble scoring goals. He's one of their key playmakers in terms of true playmaking ability. He's probably the best player on this team. When he was in his prime, he'd get assists with ease, and we see that when we look at the NHL. These are the active players for points all time, or active players I should say, not all time, and he ranks 8th in the league of active players in points at 1,165, just beyond John Tavares, who is just a little younger than him. But that is very impressive. He's been in the league for a long time, obviously, so he's had time to build up those stats. That just shows the impact that he's had in his prime. He's got a lot of assists, and I still think he has that in him. I feel like he's going to be able to get a high number this year. He just needs to get into a more solidified role where he's able to build chemistry with his line mates. Obviously, the Sens are still looking for a top 6 scoring threat. If they're not able to find that, Claude Giroux is going to have to stay on the top 6. I think the best fit for him is on the third line, because I still think he's still a decent defender, and him being on the third line would make that line even more dangerous defensively and offensively. If he's out there with Pinto, they would be able to create a dynamic duo, and I think that'd go a long way in the Senators' success. But as of now, he is on the second line, only making $2 million. This is the contract he signed, $2 million. He has a $3 million of potential bonuses that could kick in if certain things happen this season. But $2 million cap hit, very, very low contract. That just shows that he is all in it for the Senators to win. He didn't expect a big boatload of money. He wants the Sens to have cap security, and the $2 million certainly does that. If Claude Giroux is able to have a big season and the Senators are able to go on a little bit of a run here, Claude Giroux could be remembered as one of the best Ottawa-born players to ever play for the Senators. This tweet was just posted a few days ago by Steve Warren. It's just a list of best all-time Senators who were born or grew up in the city of Ottawa. I believe Gatineau is also included in this, because Jean-Gabriel Pageau is from Gatineau, with a minimum of 82 games played with the Sens. So these are some guys that he listed. Claude Giroux, he's on the top there. And I agree. I don't think this is ranked as well, but I think if Giroux is able to have not a massive season, but just a very productive season, and the Sens are able to go on a little bit of a run, I think he will be remembered as the best Ottawa-born player to ever play for the Senators. Some other players here: Jean-Gabriel Pageau. Obviously, he was a very solid player for the team. In the times that they made the year they made the conference finals, and he was there for a few years after. Obviously, we all remember his 4-goal game against the New York Rangers in that playoff series. That was an incredible game. I still remember that game, the back of my head. Got Mark Mathot, who was a true warrior on the back end. Lost a finger too. He put his body on the line, but him and Carlson were a great dynamic duo on that first line defensive pair. Todd White and Jason York, I'm a little unfamiliar with them. I wasn't around to watch them play really, but from what I researched, they seem to be very solid players as well. Cody Ceci, he played for the Senators for a good amount of years. He's still playing as well in the league. He's on the LA Kings, I believe. He signed a contract with them. Solid player, had a very good thing going with Dion Phaneuf when Phaneuf was around, and Mark Borowiecki. How could we forget about him? He was a true enforcer. Whenever he's out there, you knew he was going to make a big hit or even probably get in a fight, and he looked like a true hockey player, missing teeth all over the place. But when he was out there, he was always really fun to watch. But yeah, when I'm looking at this list of players, I think Claude Giroux does have the potential to be an all-time Ottawa-born player to play for the Senators. And I anticipate Giroux to have a big season. To what extent, I'm not entirely sure, because, again, he's 38, turning 39 in January, so basically mid-season he'll be turning 39. You can only expect so much from a guy turning that age, but if he's able to play all 82 games again, there's no reason why he can't get to 50 points or even more, and maybe even 40 assists. We'll have to wait and see. What do you guys think? What impact do you think Giroux has to make for the Senators to have success? And also, where do you think he ranks all time in Ottawa-born players to play for the Senators. Let me know down in the comments, and also, I'm always looking for video suggestions, and let me know if you have anything that you want me to cover before the season gets going, or even before training camp gets going in just a few weeks' time. And just another reminder to hit that subscribe button. It allows you to stay updated with Senators Digest content, and it helps the channel out a bunch. That is all I have for you today. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.